Kassan Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I want to play this clip. Please get the two Breitbart clips ready for me. It was, I forget the guy's name. It's like Hassan something, and he's from Breitbart in London, and he's talking about Donald Trump's comments around the crap hole thing. Well, it's two things. One is Donald Trump's not going to go to London and do this opening of the new, I think was our consulate office or whatever. He's not, I think that's what it is. So he's not going to go, and he says, why would I go? He goes, it's a building that costs way too much to build. It was done during Obama. So he talks about that, but he also talks about the crap hole that is London. And I want to start there because that's obviously fueled a lot of things that were talked about at the end of the last week and over the weekend. And I just think it's worth considering how people feel about this and how they looked at it around the world. And so this guy from Breitbart, which obviously gives you an idea of the leanings of his thought process, gives one of the best synopsis of this that I've heard. And then I want to go into that into the next phase of it because it was just it was a great interview. So indulge me for a second. I'm going to play the first clip. You got that one? Okay, good. And we'll talk about it a little bit, and then maybe we'll end up having to go to another segment, but we'll see.
Rahim Kassan is the editor of Breitbart London. He joins me now from Washington, and many thanks indeed for joining us this evening. What does it say about President Trump when he refers to countries like Haiti, El Salvador, and other countries in Africa as cold countries?
Well, I suppose we'll start with the fact that he's denying having used that language. This is following a meeting in the Oval Office with some Democrats who had just been informed that they weren't getting an amnesty deal for illegal immigrants. So I'm not entirely sure of how reliable it is.
Well, he's denying the use of that language, but Democrat Dick Durbin has been a Democrat, has been in Congress for 20 years, said that President Trump did use that language. Are you saying that he's lying?
No. I'm just trying to put it in context for you. Personally, I hope he did use that language, Gamal. I think it shows a frankness, a willingness to have a conversation that isn't sort of varnished with political correctness. He wants to know why America has a big illegal immigration problem. Let's not forget the OECD puts out statistics every year, the United Nations, Transparency International, all the corruption indexes. They put out statistics every year that show that there are a handful of countries out there in the world that are pretty bad. I mean, I don't want to use the word on air.
Pretty
but
bad
you
is
could
very
describe
different
them as
to
what
describing a country as being a
Look,
shithole.
if you want me to say it, they are holes, Gamal. It is the case. There's no getting around it. And he's not saying that they are because, they're bad people there or anything like that. It might be due to corrupt regimes. It might be due to factors out of the control, environmental factors. There might be education problems there. But there are countries that you and I wouldn't want to go on holiday in and sun ourselves in. And I think that's what he's getting at. It shouldn't be shocking to anybody that there are horrible places in the world that are horrible for the people who live there to live. And instead of actually getting het up about the phrase used, maybe we've got to ask ourselves, why is Haiti in such a dire situation?
Is it appropriate that the United States President should use a phrase describing countries such as Haiti, El Salvador, or countries in Africa as holes? You think it's appropriate for a president of a country, a leader of a country, to use that term, to use that phrase?
Yeah, well, let's look at Barack Obama, who gave an interview. Let's look at what Barack Obama said about swearing in the Oval Office. He said it's a great thing for presidents to be able to do to relieve stress. Joe Biden, when the Obamacare legislation was passed, described it on live microphone as a big effing deal. So I think the level of appropriateness has already been set by Trump's predecessors on this one. So my answer is, yeah, it's perfectly fine.
You think it's fine that... I'm not talking about Barack Obama. I'm not talking about any other leaders.
Of course you're not.
We're talking about this president describing a country as a shithole country. You think that's fine?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
All right, welcome back. I told you guys earlier, I said, I have never seen so many journalists who have just gone ape crap. I'm having to clean things up over using the word crap hole. Again, cleaning it up and having it seem there's a video floating around that has all the journalists who've used the word in their broadcast just back to back. It's 3 minutes long. It's crazy. It's 3 minutes long. These guys are loving it. Look, and on and on. The guy's going, look, here's what Barack Obama said. When he described Libya, I think he called it he described the situation as a crap, whatever, like a crap fest or something like that. But he, of course, used the different word. And Don Lemon must have said it 3 or 4 times. Anderson Cooper and others. But I'm telling you, it's at least 10 different journalists in this video saying the word over and over and over and over. And it doesn't even include overseas. I mean, this guy's a British guy, British black guy, interviewing a guy named Rahim Kassan. So we're talking about the world is a very different place where you've got a black guy interviewing a guy, I'm going to presume he's of Arab descent, and the Arab is defending the white dude, Donald Trump, against a black guy who is obviously British and believes the leftist crap that's going on over there. It's just so fun to watch. It really is, because Donald Trump has the world spinning around. But here's the good news for us. When it settles, it's like a centrifuge. When it settles, we will all be collected on the outer part of the thing, because that's what centrifugal force does. Some people say it's centripetal force, but we're going to all be collected on the outside, because that force, that vortex in there, is going to push us all out. But and you would say, well, Kevin, that's dividing us. No. Once a centrifugal force does that, it separates the product, the good product, from the bad product. And that what's going to be left is a good product. We're going to be united. And what's interesting is it's going to unite other people. People are going to get guts to start changing things. The wake-up call is going across all of Europe. It's going across Canada. It's going into Mexico. It's going into China. It's going into Russia. That, you know what? You have to change the way you think. And I'm telling you, I'm feasting over this stuff. Hearing that interview, and by the way, sharp guy. He reminds me of when I first heard Milo do an interview. The guy was spot on. I felt like I was listening to myself. He's dismissed. He says, "Oh, well, I'm not talking about Barack Obama." He says, "Yeah, of course you're not." The guy being interviewed goes, "Yeah, of course you're not." We're saying, you are so biased. Why would you ever mention anything bad about Barack Obama? There's another clip. We'll get to it. Maybe we should do it now. You want to do that now? Yeah, let's play the second clip.
I'd just like to get your thoughts on the fact that President Trump has said that he's not going to be coming to the United Kingdom to open the US embassy.
Yes, well, I don't blame him. You know, you have a situation whereby Sadiq Khan, as the mayor of London, has really been tub-thumping, trying to get President Trump not to attend. Said multiple times he's not welcome in the capital. Really fomenting a situation where you might have some riots or street protests if the president came to open that embassy. By the way, I think the president's wrong when he says that the embassy in South London is a bad deal. I think firstly, it wasn't Obama who approved that embassy. It was George W. Bush who approved that embassy. Secondly, it didn't cost the American taxpayer anything because they actually sold off a bunch of buildings to pay for it. So I think he is wrong on that. I think he should have come out and told the honest truth, which is that he doesn't particularly want to visit Sadiq Khan's London, which is the acid attack capital of the world per capita, where you have in the last year soaring knife crime, soaring burglary, soaring rape, soaring youth homicide. And Sadiq Khan seems to be concerning himself more with matters of state, which he isn't elected to do, than actually solving the situation of crime in London. And it is soaring. And I have to say this, and you'll excuse me for being churlish about it, but places like Sky News and the BBC and all the best and brightest journalists in the country are not covering this.
What do you mean?
Well,
every single day we are covering stories about whether it's knife crimes or attacks, where they happen up and down the country. What proof do you have?
So Gamal,
Well,
the proof is, can you answer me? What's the at what rate did knife crime go up by in London last year?
I'm asking you. I'm interviewing you. What proof
I know.
do you have?
Well, I don't. It's not great with the shoes on the other foot. Do you know how much youth homicide went up by in London last year? Have you told your viewers that 70%? Have you looked at the mayoral's police and crime report from December the 12th? You look at that. Almost every single measure out of 42, only 4 of them in 4 categories did crime go down. In every single other area, double-digit rises in crime across London. So you know what? To borrow a phrase from Donald Trump, London's turning into a shithole under Sadiq Khan.
I love that. Wow. Again, an interview like one I would have given, full of statistics, explaining how you're being genuine when you tell people, won't even tell you the nationality of attackers. Won't tell you where not to go. We'll try to lure people into thinking there's a false sense of security. Oh, we report knife attacks. We certainly do. When it's on the Lou and and on the L and blah, blah, blah. They don't report jack. There was a person who was attacked the other day by the subway station, and that's it. More to come. This guy nails it. And you gotta love that. You gotta love when a guy's informed and he puts the press on notice. Look, here's the good news. It isn't just our press, good news, bad news. It isn't just our press who's disingenuous. It's all over the world.
Kevin Jackson on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177, or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.